Who are you?
Whoever you want me to be.
Don't say I never gave you anything.
It's feeling epic.
3 words. 8 letters.
I remember everything.
Where are you going?
Home.
Spend the night.
Can't.
What do you mean can't? You always spend the night.
Not tonight.
Why not?
I just don't think it's a good idea for me to sleep over anymore, you know?
I don't know. You've been sleeping over since we were 7. It's Saturday night. Come on.
Things change, Dawson. Go with it.
What are you talking about?
We're older now. Sleeping in the same bed was fine when we were kids, but we're 15 now.
Yeah.
We start high school on Monday.
Yeah.
And I have breasts.
What?
And you have genitalia.
I've always had genitalia.
But there's more of it.
How do you know?
Long fingers. Look, I just think evolution is taking its course and we have to accept the inevitable. See ya.
Whoa. Joe, don't hit and run. Explain yourself.
We're not kids anymore. It's time to evolve.
Says who?
Mankind, God, Spielberg. And scene.
Spielberg.
It all goes back to Spielberg.
Certainly does.
That was just a little snippet from the pilot episode of Dawson's Creek. Not to be confused, I am not Katie Holmes. That is not from the live Dawson's Creek reunion. I know you must be a little confused. You probably thought it was.
I am Joshua Jackson.
You wish. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Previously on Teen TV Podcast. I'm your host, teen drama fangirl, Jillian Benani, back with another very special episode with a very special guest. Once again, my husband, Tyler, is joining us.
Hello, Jillian. Thank you for having me once again.
Welcome back. This is kind of
Wow.
a surprise episode. This is not The Notebook, like what we said we were going to do.
No, I made it all the way from Cousins Beach to Capeside. Here I am.
You know,
Covering Dawson's Creek.
Still in a Wilmington show, I will say. We don't go far. Well,
Yeah, this is fun. This is a surprise app. I'm glad to hear you. I want to hear you talk about the Dawson's Creek reunion. Like,
We gotta
haven't
talk
really
about
talked
it.
much about it. You went to it last night.
I know. I got to be in the room for the Dawson's Creek reunion, class reunion. Huge. I mean, honestly, maybe the best day of my life. I'm sorry to our wedding, but
Didn't we get married this year?
I'm sorry. And I'm just saying best day of my life. Like, I didn't even say this year. I said my life. And I
Wow.
stand by that. It was truly a magical evening. I mean, when I got
I'm
tickets
happy
to
for
this, I couldn't believe I was able to get a ticket. It was like getting a ticket to the Eras tour. You were there with me. I was screaming. I was going a little crazy. I was so scared I wasn't going to get a ticket.
Well, when you told me about this thing, I was a little confused as to what it even was. I didn't quite get it. And then I thought it was almost like, when you told me, I thought it was like those COVID things where it was like on a Zoom or something
No.
that everyone was doing.
No
and then you were
Zoom.
explaining, no, you were like, no, it's all like in person. And then we were like at a friend's beach house for the weekend. We never get away. We never get out of the city together. We're finally away together, and it turns into just the war room for getting tickets
Yeah.
to the Dawson's Creek reunion.
It was all hands on deck. We had multiple people trying to get me these tickets, and luckily we got them. And even when I got the tickets, I
think I got the tickets because I come through in a crisis. I was very calm under pressure.
you needed to move a little quicker. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. You needed to move quicker. That was scary. We were like screaming
I wanted
at
to browse
Tyler.
the seats. I was looking for the best view.
I'm like, you don't browse seats. You hit best available and go. It is go time.
I didn't know. I never had to do Eras Tour.
Luckily-
I haven't been through boot camp.
I know, really. We need to train you. Luckily, it all worked out. And even when I got these tickets, you know, I bought $500 tickets, and I was like, I kind of thought they would just be sitting around reading the script, and I still thought, worth it. This was a one night only event. When else does this cast really get together? So I was like, that's even worth the money to me. But then, I mean, this was a bigger event than I ever even could have guessed. It was just bigger, more theatrical. There were surprises, there were tears, there were screams. It was just bigger than what I ever even could have imagined.
What Broadway theater was this at?
The Richard Rodgers, where they do Hamilton.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a pretty big theater.
And it's a great theater, too, because there's really not a bad seat, I feel like.
Yeah.
And it was just like you could feel the energy in the room. Everybody was hyped up. It was fun. There was a lot of like crowd reaction throughout it. The cast not read. They like did the pilot basically.
That's amazing.
Like they had their scripts with them, but there was a lot of like acting going on. You know, it's not just like reading
set the
from the
scene
page.
for me. I sent you on your way yesterday to this, and you were so excited. Like you're like palms were clammy.
Yeah.
Like you were so nervous and excited for
Yeah.
it yesterday. So you get down there, are like people like lined up to go in?
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
like pretty early.
And I go to Broadway a bit. You know, we live in New York. We like to go to Broadway shows. We have friends who work in Broadway who are able to get us tickets. And I got there earlier than I've ever gotten there for a show. Line wrapped around the block.
Wow.
I mean, I got in line over a half hour early. You know that's early for Broadway. But the line was fun. People are in their
I'll bet
Dawson's
so.
Creek shirts. Everyone's hyped up. I'm seeing Joshua Jackson's face all over people. I loved it. And then we get in the theater. And again, it is like to try and get a drink or merch. It was just like jam packed in there. And then, the lights go down and we get this incredible like video montage introduction.
I guess you had no idea what to expect.
No,
you didn't know.
I think that was part of it of like, I don't really know what fully this is going to be. When we get in the theater, we see the seats on the stage and there's like the
Was there a
sign in the
playbill
back.
or anything?
No playbill. That's okay.
So you had no idea what to expect.
No.
Like you're like, they could just walk out and sit down and start reading.
That's
or
what
like,
I thought.
This could be a big production.
Yeah.
You don't know. Yeah.
But then when the intro video came on, I was like, okay, we're setting the scene. I was like, this is a full production then. And then towards the end, that's when we get Michelle Williams, Joshua Jackson, and Katie Holmes come out on stage holding hands. It was just so sweet. And obviously, it was very sad that James Van Der Beek could not make it. I think we all really wanted him to be there. The night was for him and in support of him and F cancer. Hope he gets better, wish him the best. And I think it was very cool that Lin-Manuel Miranda stepped in, and he did a great job. And that's not an easy thing to step in on something like this, where we are all like geared up for James Van Der Beek and so excited and want to support him that... I was like, this is a
You're being a little
job.
political about this. I gotta say, when you first read the announcement, you were heartbroken. You were heartbroken for James because you were just so like, I hope he's okay. You were worried, and then you switched to Lin-Manuel Miranda. What does he have to do with Dawson's Creek?
That is what I said.
And then when you,
you're calling me out. I know. Well, and I
then
take
when I
this
talked
back.
to you about it today, you're like, he was amazing. You're like, he was a revelation. I'm like, what?
I was like,
he must have knocked it out of the park.
I was like, that Lin, he's talented. Wow.
Yeah,
People
who knew?
People should talk about him more often. He's really got something going on there. No, I was like, why is Lin doing this? I like that I call him Lin, like we're on a first name basis. That was my initial reaction. Okay. Tyler has called me out. Yes. I was like, why couldn't they get Ryan Gosling or something? Like, I was like, give me a heartthrob. Give me a heartthrob.
Bring Daniel Day-Lewis out of retirement. What are we doing here?
I was like, give me a heartthrob to read this role or something, Like, I was like, Lin, and you made a good point. You were like, this is a
I
tough
was
job
calming
to
you down. I was
step
talking you
in
off the
on. And Lynn knows theater, does theater. Like, he's somebody who could step into this quickly and do a good job of it. And you were 100% right. Because
I mean, first of all, he's in New York. That's something you need.
Well, I think though, as a
he's-
New Yorker, I'm like, Lynn is just always around. It kind of feels like.
But he's incredible live on short notice because he's a talented guy who's used to performing live. And a lot of people can't just come in and like pick up a script like within a few days and be ready to go. So,
well, there was also a lot of choreography involved in this too. Like, when it was your scene, you got up to the front. They had a rapport going. Like, this was clearly rehearsed a lot. And they put a lot of work into this. And not just like the videos and the extra added stuff. There was a lot of work into them doing the pilot and reading it and having fun with it. So, I mean, you needed somebody who could get it quickly and jump in quickly. It also just seems like he had to have been a fan of the show.
Yeah, I assume he's a fan.
He really encapsulated Dawson, I thought. And I feel like he just captured that kind of like nerdiness a little bit in Dawson. And he just did a great job with it. And I was so pleasantly surprised and happy. And he made it so fun. Yeah.
I think there's some Dawson in Lynn. I mean, to make what he's made in his life, like, you had to be one of those, like, you know, nerdy teens who's a little bit just like idolizing these creators and directors and wanting to make stuff. I mean, I listened to him on that podcast, on the Blank Check podcast, where he did Hook, and he was like, which is a Spielberg movie, and he was just talking about just how much he loved these movies and watched them over and over. And like, I think he gets Dawson. Yeah,
he has some Dawson in him for sure. So, yeah, that Lynn, you know, book him, guys. He's really good.
Wow. Look, giving him a recommendation. That's sweet of you.
Oh, my God.
Hype him up.
Oh, my God. But James Van Der Beek did pop in a few times with different videos, which I thought was really nice. And you could really tell that he really wanted to be there. So I'm glad that he was still able to be a part of the night. His family was there and his kids, which was so sweet. I think really one of my big takeaways from the night was just the cast all being together and how much they really care about each other. I mean, they all came together for this. I feel like you don't really see that often. And I know that this is under very like trying circumstances, but still it just feels like it's so nice to see them all on that stage together and like enjoying each other and working together again and just seeing that magic on that stage. It was just really special, honestly.
Yeah. No, I mean, I was telling you, I think it's really amazing that they all got back together to do this, because I was like, when you think about how all their lives have played out, it's like they've all had such wild like results to their lives. You know, hopefully James Van Der Beek's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Like, it's very sad what he's going through right now. You know, I mean, Katie Holmes had one of the craziest 20s you could ever have.
Yeah.
Married to the most famous man in the world.
Nope.
And
allegedly.
Joshua Jackson, you know, has had this like kind of second act as like this like heartthrob in his 40s.
Yeah.
And like this TV guy, and then Michelle Williams, just, you know, also a crazy life. And you and I were looking up, has she ever won an Oscar? And she's been nominated for 5 Oscars. And it's just, I don't know, it's just, it has to be crazy to like see each other again when you're like, again, I'm just coming off having just watched the pilot, which I'd never seen. And so it's so crazy to me that, you know, these people all met as kids, basically.
And they're all still very successful. That's why I think it's so wild that this was able to come together. And I think it's so sweet that they all clearly care about each other and stay in touch. And I think with these shows, with these teen drama shows where they were filming 22 episodes in Wilmington, North Carolina, before Wilmington, I feel like was even really a thing.
Yeah.
You know, you were all just together in this isolated town and doing 22 episodes a year, 6 seasons. I'm sure by the end of it, you're all done and you're all so worried about being typecast and being only known for this show. And it's nice then as, you know, like 20 years, almost 20 years has gone, or definitely 20 years has gone by. It's nice that they clearly look back on this as a fun time and that they all still have that bond with each other and want to do this all together, like want to all come together in support of James. I think it's just, I don't think that's a normal everyday thing, and I don't take it for granted.
Yeah. No, it's great.
Yeah. So,
Do we set up what we're doing? Did we say that you're talking about the reunion?
So-
and then the second half of the podcast will be us breaking down the pilot of Dawson's
yeah,
Creek.
so
I feel like that should have been said
we
earlier.
did not talk about that. I just started going right into the best night of my life.
I thought you
started going
skipped over
right
the
into
whole
the best
intro.
night of my life, the Dawson's Creek reunion.
I just thought about that when I said that I just watched the pilot. I was like, did we even talk about that?
Well, I finally then got Tyler to watch a Dawson's Creek pilot, which I have been trying to do this for a long time because I always felt like Tyler would really love Dawson's Creek. Out of all the teen shows, I'm like, Tyler, you would love this. And I'm shocked you didn't watch it back in the day because you're a little bit more that age range of watching it. So I was surprised.
Yeah, I don't know. I missed it.
You were watching
I'd
Star
heard of it.
Trek.
I was deep into Star Trek. I was deep into Star Trek and movies. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a Dawson, okay? If anybody needed to know. I married a Dawson.
I was busy watching all the Spielberg movies.
Oh my God, that's something Dawson would say. All right, well,
Yeah.
before...
Dawson wouldn't watch his own show. He'd be watching Spielberg movies.
Dawson would not watch a teen drama. Okay, but before we get into the pilot episode, which I am excited to talk
let's
to you
finish
about.
out your thoughts on the reunion, and then the second half of the podcast will break down the pilot.
Well, let me give you my top 5 moments of the night with the
Awesome.
reunion.
Yeah.
All right, number 5.
I can't believe you limited it to 5. I feel like
There's
you got back last night and were giddy. I went to sleep and you were just in the living room pacing.
Yeah, I was up to like 2 a.m. I was looking at all my videos, and I didn't even record that much. Like, I didn't record them actually reading the pilot. You know, gotta respect the theater rules. But I was on a high. I could not fall asleep till like 2 a.m. I'm like, what drug is this? It's amazing. Never felt better. All right, so my top 5 moments of the Dawson's Creek reunion. Number 5 is the fire alarm went off.
Wait, what?
I know. We have been to Broadway
you told
shows.
me this.
Has
When did
never
this
happened
happen?
to me. In the middle of them doing the pilot, the fire alarm.
In the middle of the reading. Oh my god.
And everyone is just kind of like, what do we do? Like, the actors on stage are like, what do we, like, you can just see them looking at each other like, what do we do? And I feel like they were all looking at Lin, like, you know theater. Like, what? Lin. And then Renee.
Lin, what do we do, Lin?
I know. And Renee Elise Goldberry was reading the stage direction. And I feel like they're all looking at her too. She's continuing to read the stage direction. I feel like so everyone just kept going. And then an announcement came on like, okay, we just need to pause for a second. I was like, you cannot unload us out of this theater. There's no way. Luckily, we just had to like wait a minute. Then they started again. And then they were like, wait, hold on, stop. We need the lights to go down. They were like doing it as the lights were on. It was just a very funny moment and a very kind of like New York moment, I feel like, too.
Yeah.
Of like, this is a one night only event and the fire alarm is going off.
And Lin was doing Dawson.
Yeah.
Obviously, Joshua Jackson, Katie Holmes, Michelle Williams are playing their normal roles.
Mm-hmm.
What other people were playing roles in this? Because you told me Busy Phillips was there, but like
Yeah.
I've only seen the pilot. I haven't. Is Busy Phillips in the actual show?
Yeah, she
Dawson's
does
Creek?
not come in though until the college years. So she's Joey's
okay.
roommate in college.
So who did she play in the pilot?
She played Tamara, the teacher, which was very fun with her and Joshua Jackson. They shared a kiss on the
Hot for
stage.
teacher.
She was
An
very
inappropriate kiss.
She was very funny as the teacher. She brought a lot of comedy to it, which is needed in that storyline now, you know?
You got to make it funny now because it's like, yikes.
Yeah. I know. It was
Okay,
funny,
that's great.
though.
That's a good role for her.
Yeah, it was great.
That's funny.
It was perfect. And then Jack and Andy, who come in season 2, they played other like bit roles in it.
Okay.
So they gave like the more smaller parts
So
of the
these are
pilot
people that were
to
more
people who
recurring
were
in later
recurring.
seasons.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because this show is always evolving. We're bringing in regulars in season 2, in season 4. They keep it moving.
How many seasons of this show were there?
6.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
I know. We'll talk
Got a
more
long
about
way to
that.
go, don't I?
Yeah, you better get going. All right, back to my top 5 moments of the Dawson's Creek reunion. Number 4. It was when they were doing the ending scene of the pilot with Dawson and Joey, and I'll Stand By You is playing, and Dawson says, "Usually in the morning," to Katie Couric.
Yeah.
With Joey and the robo. I mean,
That's
I
funny.
just started crying during that part because they actually played the song too in that moment. And I just think it's such a beautiful moment. And
they're like
that really got
staged,
me.
right? They're like,
Yeah.
they're standing up acting this out.
And
like
yeah.
you were saying, right?
And
okay.
Lynn and Katie Holmes were really giving it in that scene, I felt like. And I just thought it was such a great moment. And I was just like, I don't want this to end. Can we do
Is she
F2?
pretending to like row away?
It wasn't that deep, okay? She was not doing that.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
For those who are just listening on audio, Tyler was doing a rowing motion that was quite crazy.
I just was acting it out. I
No,
thought
they
maybe
were
she was
doing the
acting it out.
emotional depth of the scene.
Okay. So they would
Yeah.
stand up, whoever was in the scene, and just kind of act it out, but not like act it out.
Yeah. Unless, in some moments, though, they would,
Yeah.
but not for the rowboat.
But Busy Phillips and Joshua Jackson really smooth.
They gave it their all. They smooched twice, I think.
Whoa.
She went in for a second go around, which good for her. Why not? You might as well. And their characters dated in the show. Spoiler.
Wow. You're just spoiling the whole show for me.
No. You would never guess where the show goes. That's gonna be one of my questions for later. All right, back to my top 5 moments of the Dawson's Creek reunion. Number 3. Katie Holmes and Joshua Jackson being cute. I mean, these two, they just give us everything we want. They were holding hands. She was leaning her head on him. They just, I can't. I love it so much. They know exactly what we want and they give it to us. And I am very ready for them to be in a movie together because their chemistry has not gone away. And I don't even need them to get together in real life. I know people want them to be together in real life. I don't even care about that. I just want them to keep doing what they're doing. All right?
I'm happy for you. I mean, this seems kind of amazing to me. All I saw was him throw her in the water. Like I haven't seen
I know.
all the chemistry yet.
Well, I do appreciate then that they gave us those kind of cutesy moments just standing next to each other.
Because they're not really there in the pilot.
Yeah. They don't they have like one scene together for the most part when they're filming the movie. So they don't really have much interaction. So it was nice that they gave us these moments. And I feel like they knew what they were doing. They were giving that to us. And I appreciated that.
Yeah.
I mean, them two together, Pacey and Joey forever. Like, it is just too good. I just love that they have such a strong bond still. It means a lot. It's all you want, you know? Ugh.
I'm happy for you, babe. I don't know what else to say.
I'm going to make you watch some Pacey Joey videos.
That's spoilers.
If you do not continue with the Dawson's Creek watch, I just need you to see this, okay? I need you to know how it happens. I need you to know all of it.
We'll get there. Maybe.
Are you going to watch their movie together at least? We'll have to cover that.
I'm definitely going to watch
the trilogy.
Yeah.
I'm ready. I was
It's
like,
a trilogy?
It's a trilogy. I was thinking as I'm just staring at them the entire time, anytime they're on stage together, and they were next to each other a lot. Mm-hmm. I just kept thinking, I could just watch this as a movie. Just them glancing at each other,
a
holding
live stream of them just canoodling?
All I need. That's all I need. I'm good. I'm good. I mean, the amount of Pacey Joey
put that in
edits,
IMAX is just Katie Holmes putting her head on.
I'd watch a 2-hour Pacey Joey edit in a movie theater. So bring this on.
Keep going. Are you counting something down?
All right. My number 2 moment of the night was seeing James Van Der Beek and him doing those videos for us. He actually spoke quite a bit, which I appreciate. And it was nice that he was still able to be a part of the night.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that wasn't easy for him to record those. And I thought it was really, really nice and special.
Yeah.
And
his family was there, right? Didn't you say that?
Wife and the kids. Everybody stood up when they came in. It was very sweet. Oh. And then that goes into my number 1 moment of the night, singing the theme song. I mean, full body chills.
Great theme.
It was like Renee came out and started singing it, and then cast members just started kind of coming out and singing more of the song. And then they had James' family come out, and the kids started singing, and they were so good. Amazing singers.
That's a nice moment.
And then we all joined in, and it's just like, that's what you want. That's a life moment.
Were you doing the do-do-do?
Yeah. Oh, my God, yeah. I mean,
Bopping.
I sing that song randomly in every day-to-day life where I just go do-do-do-do-do. And I'm like, what am I doing? It's just in my head all the time. So to be able to sing it with the cast and the creators and everybody of the show.
You'd have never think in a million years you'd see this cast together singing that song.
I never would have thought that would have happened. And I never would have thought they would have sang the song, you know?
Yeah. What a great moment. Where do you rank that song on the all-time teen TV themes?
It's definitely top 5 for me.
Yeah.
Because it's...
Is it ahead of One Tree Hills or no?
No. Because I don't want to be... It's
OC's
like a
number
banger.
1, right? OC's number 1.
Some people would say One Tree Hill is number 1. I
think California.
Yeah. Also,
I mean,
that theme song was written for the show.
A banger.
And it makes sense. Like, I don't want to be was already a song that then became the theme song to One Tree Hill. Which, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love I Don't Want to Be. It's my number 2. I would give Dawson's Creek probably number 3.
Number 3. Greatest theme.
Yeah.
That ain't bad.
Yeah. So, I mean, I haven't stopped singing the theme song since, honestly.
Yeah.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
That sounds like a great night.
Oh, and then my honorable mention. I'm not done yet. I'm not done. Okay. My honorable mention was that Spielberg sent in a little clip, which I thought was really fun and sweet because there's a lot of Spielberg mentions in the pilot.
Holy cow, were there a lot of mentions? I was shook.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome that Steven Spielberg.
I actually yelled, "Oh my God!" Like I was shocked. Yeah. That's just not who I was expecting to come on the screen. I thought that was fun.
Man, I wonder if he's watched any episodes. I wonder if he at least watched the pilot. He's at least aware of the show. I think he had been for a long time. He has to be. This guy's so obsessed with him. And he would have had to have signed off for like E.T. to be in the show and like all these things. So at least his company was signing off on that.
Somebody has seen it. Because I don't think he would give that much of like his movies and be able to show clips
much
and whatnot
of their
if he didn't
artwork
like
is
it,
in it,
if he didn't read it, or at least
Yeah.
somebody very close to him.
So this pilot blew my mind because if anyone's seen The Fabelmans, which I highly, highly recommend, like one of the great movies that Steven Spielberg's made in a long time, is about his own life. And basically, he cast Michelle Williams to play his mother in that movie. And that's so crazy to me when I watch the pilot and see how obsessed this pilot was with Steven Spielberg. And it's like teenage Michelle Williams. That's just so crazy.
I know. It really feels like what's the word? Like a mind, just a weird,
I don't know. It's a time
invisible
warp.
string. It feels
It's
like an
strange,
invisible
yeah.
string.
Yeah, it's just mind blowing.
Yeah. Well, should we get into the pilot?
I'm down to get in the pilot.
I just
Anything else you want to say about last
finally
night?
he's watched it. No, it was an incredible night. If you guys were there, let me know your thoughts on it. It's all I'm going to be talking about for the next year.
Yeah, we had to have an emergency podcast over this.
I will
I'm going to
say,
be watching The Notebook.
I
today.
will say, I feel like, the screams for Joshua Jackson. Wow. Wild. The theater was shaking, I feel like, at one point. It was, that man still got it.
Did you give him a woo?
Oh, many woos. There was a man next to me there with his wife or girlfriend who was like plugging his ears because it was so loud around us with screams.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I'm like, let me live. Come on. We're having fun.
That's great. Well, I would like to report that we're moving into pilot talk now.
Let's do it. Oh, he's
Discussion
getting
of,
serious. He's getting serious.
Getting real serious.
Yeah.
now. I'm a real serious film guy. like
Yeah.
this. I thought the pilot was great. I really enjoyed
I know. It's an incredible pilot.
it. You should have told me to watch this show before.
Don't get me started. The pilot is truly incredible and shockingly timeless. Like, it really holds up. It's really well written and well done.
The thing about it is it goes hard in a
It
way
does.
that like I was shook. I mean, pearls were clutched at times.
I
in
know.
this.
I know.
Because it kind of has a Wonder Years vibe at like the theme of it, like with
Yeah.
the where it's like the flashes and stuff like that. And so it's like, it's this coming of age kind of story, but it goes so much harder with sex talk that I was just shook. I couldn't believe it. I mean, the whole thing opens, that whole thing we just did is like immediate her like, I can't sleep in a bed with a guy and I've got breasts and it, like she's talking about penis size, like
know.
everything is just like in the opening. I was like, wow, this show goes for it. It was fun.
I mean, you can imagine parents' responses back then in the 90s when this came out.
Yeah.
I mean, we hadn't had anything like this. It truly is very original. And I don't think any show since then has talked about sex in the way that they do.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
And
this show,
that's a compliment to Dawson's Creek.
This show walked so Euphoria could run and spin out on drugs.
So Euphoria could show drawings of penises instead of saying it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I thought it was great. I thought it was, they're clearly referencing When Harry Met Sally in that opening scene. They like
Yeah.
Dawson brings it up of like, can a guy and a girl be friends, or will sex always get in the way? And I was just like, what an opener. I was shook. That opening scene, like, you really need those two actors to be able to pull that off too.
Yeah.
Like, and it not be too like, ooh.
I think that's why it works, because they really do sell it, and they sell me on that that's how they really talk. because there's a lot of talk about like the vocabulary on the show, and like teenagers don't really talk like that. And it's like, yeah, maybe they don't. Like, who cares though? Like, it's, you know, it's entertaining. It's a TV show. It's not supposed to be real life necessarily. It's like creating the world a little bit more. But
how do you think they were framing Dawson in this show? Is he supposed to be a cool guy, or is he? I mean, or is he a nerd? Like,
I think that's part of the magic of the show is that they're not necessarily like cool or nerds. They're not. They're kind of like your average high schooler. People. I feel like in the
I thought
middle.
that was interesting too, because I thought that too. I was like, it's not like putting him in a box necessarily. Like, clearly he's obsessed with movies, but then like he doesn't seem like not sociable or anything,
right.
You know, like he's very friendly and seems to like enjoy school. I don't know.
Well, I think that's why it works so well, because it's not like, okay, here's our popular cheerleader, here's our jock, here's the nerd, here's this. Like much more, there are a lot of different things at, you know, maybe different times, and they're a little bit more just kind of like your average high schooler. Like, we don't really know where they fit into the caste system in high school. And I think that's smart. That's nice.
Yeah. Because, I mean, I'm looking at this guy, incredible fits. I mean, his hair's great. But
clear
then you go
skin,
into his bed.
Clear skin, as Michelle Williams
skin,
says.
as she said. But then you go to his bedroom, and it's just posters of Schindler's List. And you're like, what is going on with this guy?
Well, I feel like that's why, though, I do love Dawson as a character. And I know we can get into in later seasons and whatnot on why we don't like Dawson or why he isn't great. But one thing that I really do love about this character is that he is a dreamer, in that he has this thing that he really loves and he's not ashamed about it. Like, even in this pilot, we see him talking to Jen on the dock, and he is just telling her fully his goals, what he loves, what he wants to do. And I love that about him. And I love that about the character. He's not
embarrassed of his passion. Yeah.
And I think that that's refreshing to see in, you know, a teen drama character. We don't see that really all the time.
Yeah. And talk about not being embarrassed is Joey. Because
I was just about to say, none of these characters are really embarrassed.
Holy cow. Like, this girl, you don't know what's going to come out of her mouth. Like, you can't take her anywhere.
She really comes in hot in the pilot in a way that I totally forgot. Because she's not really she's not saying all those sexual things in other episodes, really. I mean, and there's a reason why she's doing it in the pilot, but I was just like, oh, wow, I forgot she says this stuff. Trucker named Bubba? Like, what?
Again, pearls clutched.
I'm blushing over here.
This 15-year-old girl. But I thought they did a great job setting that up, because you see, basically, she keeps talking about Dawson's fairy tale life in it. And, like, clearly by the end, we're seeing that fairy tale fall apart a little bit. Like, there's some cracks in the armor there of it.
Back to you, Bob.
Back to you, Bob. But I like how they set up the home lives of it, because you've got that, then you've got Michelle Williams with just the religious grandma and that whole dynamic, and they keep hinting at some mystery of New York I don't know anything about, but like that's interesting to me, and I'm excited to learn more. But then they do set up Joey as being like other side, like wrong side of the tracks kind of girl.
Other side of the creek.
Yeah, other side of Dawson's Creek there. And I mean, her get in the boat kept making me laugh. I was like, where is this? That she just can only get there by boat. It's
love
great.
it. I love the idealized,
so
like getting in your rowboat and going down to somebody's house. Like, I wanted that so bad after watching this show. I'm like, that is a dream.
But whenever her little rowboat lands back home, it is just like you're like, oh, okay, this isn't as nice a neighborhood and stuff as where we were. And it's just like she's with her sister and doesn't have her parents. And it's just like a dynamic that shows why maybe she's a little more crass and doesn't have, some of the social graces of other characters, because they do that early on. I know she's being rude to Michelle Williams purposely because she's threatened.
Yeah.
But it's not Mean Girls rude where you know how to be rude to someone and you can get away with it. It's like blunt, just in your face. You're saying crazy stuff, girl.
It's like she's never done this before and doesn't really know what to say.
Yeah.
Whereas the Nelly girl knew exactly
So you
how
a
to
virgin?
be mean to Jen Lindley. Yeah.
Just normal small talk here. Nice getting to know you.
What number is your hair color? That one. I was like, burn, but like just awkward. Like what I do love though about this pilot is that you really get an idea of every single one of these characters. Like they give a backstory for Jen for the most part. Like you can kind of infer what happened in New York. Partying, drinking, drugs. You can kind of like put it together.
Yeah, I mean, I get that.
Yeah.
She has the line of I don't smoke anymore.
Yeah,
and
right.
I party, but no substances.
And they get into it more, but they give you like a really good picture of it already, and you want to know more about her. And then they give you Joey's full backstory for the most part in just a few sentences. I mean, the only one that we don't really know much about in the pilot is Pacey. And I feel like it's because they didn't really want to introduce him too much in the first episode yet because they wanted to focus on Dawson. But I think it's
I know nothing
pretty
about
incredible
Pacey.
that, like,
I mean,
but don't you
I
think
will say Joshua Jackson's working with nothing in it and does a pretty good job because I don't
know.
feel like they don't give him much.
But don't you think it's pretty incredible for a teen drama episode that we have met everyone's like parent or grandparent, like everyone's like keeper, everyone's guardian.
Everyone's keeper.
For the most part, we've met.
Yeah.
And that we just kind of like get an idea of who they are already and their backstory, which I think is pretty great. And I think that that is a lost art in these shows who ignore people's parents and don't add in these kinds of characters.
No, the layer helps.
Yeah.
It helps to build and make you like be invested for where this story's going. I'm looking up which came first, this pilot or American Pie.
Oh, good question.
Because, American Pie, a huge part of that movie, which was a phenomenon, was like Stifler's mom.
Right.
And like that whole character, which feels very similar to what Pacey's doing.
Oh,
Just
that's a good point.
He's relentlessly pursuing this older woman, and this came first. This came a year and a half before American Pie. And I do think, clearly something in the air that was ripe of reimagining The Graduate of just this kind of character.
I
This
know.
young Dustin Hoffman kind of character, like free spirit, like charmer.
I feel like they just really wanted to show him as a charmer too in this pilot episode. And I mean, the storyline doesn't hold up, obviously.
What part?
The fact that they make out is so crazy.
They went for the kiss. I didn't think they were going to go that far.
They really went there. You were pearls clutched,
Yeah.
I feel like.
He took a punch, but he got a kiss.
And that
What a
storyline
storyline for him.
continues on.
What? We're not done with that teacher?
No, we're not done.
Oh.
You'll see Tamara in the next episode.
Giddy up.
Yeah.
Wow. I bet that was quite funny to see at the reunion, some of that stuff reenacted.
They did a good job of reenacting it because it was Busy Phillips doing it too, and she played it very a little bit more like Stifler's mom, a little more comedic, like kind of like cougar going in for it, which was funny. It kind of needed that comedic take. Well, and it's just funnier doing that with Joshua Jackson as an adult.
Yeah.
So it was funny, but yeah, no, it's I
you
just
think they
feel like
just
this
thought
was a
he would be-
storyline they did back then. They just did this.
Do you think they just
storyline.
thought Pacey would be comic relief?
I do wonder that a little bit. But he is like a main character. So it's not like the situation of let's bring him in for comic relief and he's a guest star and then we make him a series regular later on.
You know who he reminded me of? I was like, he's basically Dawson's Zach Morris and he's AC Slater. Like he's
Don't compare Pacey to AC Slater.
No, in the pilot,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
saying I think that's what they were going for, like
Yeah.
that kind of dynamic of just like these buddies that like maybe can both get girls, but in different ways.
I think
Like,
that's what
you
they
know?
were trying to show. And I think that they really didn't want to put Pacey in the Jen thing. And then they just didn't really know what they just wanted to show him being different from Dawson, I feel like ultimately. And that
Which is tough when they both work at the video rental store.
I know. I mean,
God, video rental stores seem so fun. I don't know how we could possibly bring something like
I
that back into
know.
our society. Like, but man, that felt like when culture peaked, when like people had to go to a store and you all got to talk about the new like movie or TV show at this thing versus us all just being at home alone. I don't know how we ever
I
fix
know.
it. But man, it seemed fun.
I was like, what a fun job. That
Recommending my recommendation of what I watched tonight is what some high schooler told me.
I know. Well, Tamara seems to
What a fun system.
Tamara needs to, I don't know, get a clue. Tamara needs some help. It was fun seeing the video store, though, in the pilot. I think that's such a fun
Yeah,
part
it
of
was
it now.
great.
Like, the nostalgia of this pilot is so great. It's just, you don't even like the TV and the rewinding it was like so crazy to me, and his like VCR setup. It's very nostalgic.
God, no cell phones. It's
I
good for
know.
storytelling.
It really is. The way that they are just going to each other's homes all the time is so refreshing to watch. Joey going up that ladder. What'd you think about that?
You know, that was one of those things where I was like, it feels like the Wonder Years at times where I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't know if this is even modern times for the late 90s. Like this feels like the 1950s or 60s, like at points with that. Like that's kind of odd to me.
I love it. I love the ladder going into the bedroom.
So I was trying to think why the parents don't care. Like they're 15. But then I was like, I don't know. They seem to be sex crazed maniacs who one's having an affair. So maybe they're not paying that much attention to what's going on. I don't know.
I do think they're trying to show kind of Dawson's parents as being a little aloof and not really caring. But I also think that they're like, those two aren't having sex.
You say that, but then
I
they turn
know.
15 and
But it's clear like we're seeing those changes now. And maybe this was, the summer they turned pretty. So maybe this was something they didn't have to deal with before. And now, I mean, that's basically what
Lil
they're
sis.
saying the whole pilot is like things
Lil
are
sis.
changing.
yeah. No, and I think I mean it's a fun storyline in the pilot where like she clearly is the one interested and wants to be desired by him and is mad that he's not viewing her that way. Which I think is real, and guys are just so dumb at this age. Like we don't know what's going on.
I know. That is so true. Like, I wish somebody would have told me that when I was younger. Like, they don't know. Like, stop
They're not
putting
reading
them in
into my-
charge. Like,
It's like, oh no, that girl said she doesn't like me. Yeah,
I'm like, well, he's not making a move. Must not be into me. Yeah, it's a very, I just think it's so fascinating, though. Like the friendship of them growing up together and the fact that they're still friends, like at 15 at this point. Like normally what happens is if you're a guy and a girl, a lot of times growing up as kids, maybe you grow apart at this point in time. And they haven't. And I love that this
I guess it's
series
she doesn't
kind of
have a
questions
family.
what happens. Yeah.
Like he kind of becomes this crutch for her to like rely on, like, and to get away from her sister and her sister's boyfriend and that whole life as she can go live this other life with Dawson, I guess, right? Is that what's going on?
I think it's a lot of it. I mean, the show questions a lot of like soulmates and what does it mean to be a soulmate and how, you know, is your soulmate your love partner or not? Could it not be? There's a lot of soulmate talk throughout the series with Dawson and Joey.
I enjoyed the high school, like the tub thumping.
I get knocked down, but I get up again. I mean, that was fun.
I was like,
yeah.
wow, this is like just late 90s.
I had that CD. Yeah, I remember that. That was a big song. That was fun. All right, well, I have some questions for you. Or wait, do you want to let's do your Tyler's takes first.
We can do that. I did want to say that as much as Dawson loves the movies in this, I didn't feel like they made movie theaters look very appealing in this pilot.
I know.
That looked rough. I'm like, ugh, we have improved the movie theater experience now.
Yeah, definitely.
I was like, oh boy.
I was like, oh God, I forgot you could just pick any seat. That was stressing me out.
just-
I needed an assigned seat.
We love an assigned seat.
All right, Tyler's takes.
Tyler's takes. All right, here's what I wrote down in my notes app while I was watching the pilot of Dawson's Creek. I said, opening scene, we see a creek, the house, and E.T. I was like, I feel like I understand the show now. I feel like I got the whole show in the first 3 shots.
Oh my God. I do love that opening. I love that we open on E.T.
Yeah, that was great. I couldn't believe how much Spielberg there was in this. That blew my mind.
Yeah. He's referenced throughout the entire series, but
He is obsessed with Steven Spielberg.
well, and then there's a time where the posters come down.
What?
Yeah. You'll see. You'll see. You got to continue watching.
He takes down the Schindler's List poster?
Him banging his head on that Schindler's List poster is so funny.
It's a choice. I wrote down, Forrest Gump is a comedy. These boys are wrong. That is not... You would have seen Forrest Gump, I don't know when we watched it, like 5 years ago. And it was probably like a pandemic like thing we watched.
Yeah.
And first of all, I don't think either of us particularly liked that movie.
It doesn't hold up super well.
But they act like that girl's an idiot for asking if Forrest Gump, or Pacey does. Pacey acts like that girl's an idiot when she asks, is Forrest Gump a drama or a comedy at the video rental store? And I'm just like, Pacey's wrong. Pacey needs to take women seriously. She's asking a good question, dude.
Don't insult Pacey, okay? How
And Forrest
dare
Gump
you?
is a comedy. It is not a drama.
Okay, but back then it was considered a drama.
I get back then they thought it was a drama, but I don't know.
I feel like though that was Kevin Williamson telling us he thinks it's a comedy.
I think he was doing that.
Yeah.
I think he was making fun of Pacey being so self-serious about it. He's
Yeah.
like, this movie, this weird boomer movie. Dawson would have killed it on Letterboxd. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
He would have been on Letterboxd making lists, ranking things,
Well,
doing challenges. It would have been the best.
What do you think would be in Dawson Leary's top 4 today?
Well, I assume they're all Spielberg from what I've seen. He doesn't seem to know another director.
So you don't
exists.
think he
I can't wait
branches
to introduce
out?
this guy to Stanley Kubrick or Kurosawa or anybody. Just anybody else. Quentin Tarantino is quite big at this time. He doesn't know he exists. So his top four, I don't know. What are your top four Spielbergs? Mine's probably Jurassic Park and Jaws and oh my gosh, it's so hard. He has so many great movies. You love E.T., don't you?
Yeah, mine would probably be Jaws, Hook. I mean,
That's
I
a
loved
good one.
Hook. I can't not put that in there. Jaws, Hook, The Fablemans. I really love The Fablemans. And what was it?
Catch Me If You Can.
Oh, I do love Catch Me If You Can. Yeah.
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
No, I don't love Indiana
Not
Jones.
for you. Yeah.
Sorry, Dawson.
Mine would be Jurassic Park, Jaws, Catch Me If You Can, and AI, Artificial Intelligence. Or Minority Report, one of those. I just wrote down, this teacher's inappropriate.
Yeah.
You know what? I stand by that.
I like that you wrote that down so like officially, like that was like a hot take or something. Like
I just wanted to
"That
make an official
teacher,
statement.
She is inappropriate. You're
She
like,
enacted
on the
it.
record, I want everyone to know I thought that teacher was inappropriate.
And I wrote down that Dawson ruined the end of Psycho for that teacher. That he just walked in on him. He's in the last few minutes. I feel like a psycho getting the big reveal. And he's like, hey, pause this, teacher. I want to get added to your class. And I was like, that ain't a great way to do it.
Well, I would hope that this teacher who was teaching film has seen Psycho.
Well, he's rewatching it. He wants to enjoy it. You love to walk in the last few minutes of a movie and ruin it. And
Well,
you're like, pause this.
you know, you should watch it. You should have finished it already if you didn't want
I
it
was
to be
going to
spoiled.
ask you, does Joey continue to take boats everywhere? Because I'm enjoying this bit. of
She
her
only
just-
takes it to Dawson's. Like, she's not riding around everywhere.
She doesn't
in the
take it to
boat.
school. She doesn't park her boat.
No. But I love the boat aspect of the show.
I love it too. I'm not against it.
But no,
I
they're
just-
not
I
all
think it's
using
like a-
only boats as transportation.
Okay.
She just takes that little rowboat to Dawson's.
Does Dawson keep making his movie?
Yeah. He does.
I'm excited to
There's-
see where this movie goes.
There's multiple movies.
Oh, we're gonna see.
There's also an episode where it's like they do Blair Witch Project because that came out around this time.
Oh, that's fun! Like the handheld
Yeah,
camera in
yeah.
the woods. That's fun. Well, you should have recommended the show to me. a while
Oh
back.
my God. Well, I got a little nervous though for you to watch it because I'm like, you're similar to Dawson, you know?
Fussy? You calling me fussy?
Oh, but I think you would have demanded to have been put in that film class if the professor did not let you in. You would have been like, you would have put up a fight.
The teacher should clearly let Dawson in. He's so passionate. Like, you got a bunch of doofuses in there who think they could just watch movies and get an A. Like, let this kid in.
You're being Dawson again. And I
All right, let's move on.
I hate to break
let's move on
it
to
to
your
you,
questions
but,
and
you know.
get me out of this emergency podcast.
No, I'm glad that you watched the show and I'm glad that you loved it. And I knew you would. I was right about this one. There's so many good film and pop culture references, and this show is just written really well. It's just really
isn't
well
this
done.
show in your like theme song twice or something?
Only once.
Oh, is it?
I remember everything.
Oh, I remember.
The best line from the show.
Yeah.
Well, so that goes into my questions for Tyler. Can you,
Lay it on me.
from what you just watched, can you believe that the big love triangle is between Dawson, Pacey, and Joey, and not Jen, Joey, and Dawson?
that makes no sense at all because
We do somewhat get the love triangle with Jen, Joey, and Dawson, but it's not the
Okay,
big love triangle of the show.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, everyone in the pilot is focused on Jen more. Like Dawson is clearly like pursuing her. Pacey is like, oh, like he says he even has a joke of like jaw to the floor or whatever. Like, and like Joey is just so threatened. So it's hard for me to see that this isn't what the show's about. But
I know.
clearly it's not. You keep talking about Pacey and Joey. That just seems so wild to me from what I saw in the pilot.
But that, I think, is what's so great about it, is that from the beginning it seems so out of left field and that you would never guess that it's coming.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't happen till season 3, and it's like a slow build. They take their time with it. But then it becomes so
great.
big because then it's like Pacey and Dawson are at it, and it's the big question of what does Joey want?
Mm-hmm.
And is Dawson and Joey just inevitable, you know?
Yeah.
It's just so good. And I think there's literally a whole book written on how they decided to do this Pacey and Joey thing and the process of it, because it truly is fascinating. And the fact that it worked and then worked so well, it's just kind of crazy. And it literally changed the trajectory of the show. And I love when a show does that, when they follow what is working and where the chemistry is. And I just love it so much. So you at least have to get to this Pacey Joey stuff. I mean, aren't you curious
I'm curious
of how beloved they are?
Yeah. First you had my curiosity. Now you got my attention. You got it.
Well, okay, back to Dawson with films.
Yeah.
What films do you think Dawson is making today?
Oh, what would he? So he starts out in horror in
Yeah, I guess
the
that's
early
true, yeah.
2000s. That's what he's working on, which is smart. That's what most filmmakers do because it's cheap and can make a lot of money and can be quite effective. I would say he's one of those who he's definitely made a few Instagram posts of just like only see this in theaters. Like he's big on that. And he probably was one of the last holdouts on real film, not using digital. He probably was doing that, trying to use real film. I bet he's trying to make Spielberg like type movies. I bet he's trying to make though, but not like those like what he's into then. I think he's trying to make like the what he calls the after the Peter Pan syndrome, where he's like the grown-up Spielberg Oscar movie. Don't you think he's trying to make that?
Well, the series ends with he's making a TV show about his life, Dawson's Creek, if you will. So I don't know then if he's doing that as a movie. But I don't know. I feel like he is somebody who would really know that like coming of age genre well. So I could definitely see him making some movies in that.
Oh yeah, he's probably just like attached to a development deal, trying to go on the hills of The Summer I Turned Pretty, trying to make another
My God.
coming of age story.
He's like, have I got a love triangle for you?
Yeah, let me tell you
Not
about my
brothers,
life. I got a love triangle.
not brothers, but best friends. But I also think, I think Dawson could have written Megan with that horror background.
Oh, okay.
I feel like he could have done something like that. I feel like
I
he's
thought one of the most interesting things he said was like, if sex is so important, why is it not in Steven Spielberg movies? And I was thinking about that a lot after
oh my
he said
God.
it. It made me want to watch The Fabelmans again. Because
Yeah.
again, I think I think there's a lot going on in The Fabelmans of Steven Spielberg explaining himself to us.
I cannot believe how much you love this show. It's so funny to me.
Yeah. I just want to show Dawson the Fablemans.
I know.
He'll love it.
I'm like, this is how much you're into it. You want to show Dawson these movies, right?
He'll love it.
I feel like you really got to tell Kevin Williamson that of like, what do you think of the Fablemans? That's your question now for Kevin Williamson.
Definitely.
Because it's clear that it's like a lot of that part of Dawson is him.
He's clearly thought a lot about Steven Spielberg.
Yeah. He's talked about that a lot. I love that. Like, I love that he put that into it. I feel like there's a lot of people who would have shied away from putting so much Spielberg in their pilot of like, I don't want to come off like thinking that I'm him or like, people just get so like bashful. And I love that he just went full steam ahead. Do you think they told him to take down one poster? Do you think the art department was like, we got to get rid of one of these? And he was like,
they put
no.
Always, which is a Steven Spielberg movie no one's heard of, inside the closet.
Have you seen that movie?
I have not seen that movie.
Yeah, I know. I told you, I was like, they talk about Spielberg so much in this pilot, you have to watch it. Maybe I'll just make you watch the finale then from here.
I only watch, yeah.
You only watch first.
I could go
and
through
last.
and just watch. Is it one of those shows where if I went through and watched the first ep of each season and the last ep of each season, would I get it?
I don't know.
No.
I'm gonna go with no. I mean, I will say though, this isn't one of those shows that's like super dramatic. We're not seeing like something insane happen every episode.
I enjoyed hanging out with the characters.
Yeah, it's not like a soapy teen drama as much.
Yeah,
I feel like that more happened after this show. But I think every teen drama since this show has been influenced by it 100%. I mean, half of them film in Wilmington now. Like this is
they do. I know. I was looking at all the shots of them running around in Wilmington. I was like, wow, Wilmington's really blown up since then because like they look pretty small.
It really did. I thought that too. It's crazy. We owe it all to the creek. So will you continue?
I will continue, but probably not at the pace you want me
That's
to.
fine. That's fair. We'll let you go at your pace. So right now, just after seeing the pilot, how do you think it ends?
How do I think this show ends?
Yeah.
Well, the problem is you've told me, you've hinted at certain things that I would have never guessed.
Well, I can't keep things in.
Like Pacey and Joey.
Well,
so
okay,
clearly,
that you should know that just from like marrying me. Like you should just know that information.
Just know it. You're just born with that knowledge of Pacey and Joey.
Did I ever tell you that they end up together fully? You don't know. Because it's a question up at like...
What? And then you told me that he's making a show. So I would have guessed it ends with like Dawson's like making a movie, like is finally like got his movie funded and is like off on his career. Like hopefully things are going to start going that way. And I would hope that, but again, I guess I would bet like from what you've told me, Pacey and Joey are getting married.
Not correct.
Wow.
Not fully correct. You have to watch and see.
I'll have to watch and see.
You haven't even met Jack yet.
Maybe is Michelle Williams still in it at the end?
I don't want to tell you.
Okay.
What do you think she's doing?
Going back to New York to conquer her fears?
Oh, you're doing a good job on guessing. That's not where she ends up in the end, but interesting.
And Tamara or whatever the teacher's name is in prison for 20 years.
Tamara.
What's her name?
That is her name. I'm just dying that we like know
No,
her
good.
name. Like I feel like we've talked about Tamara a lot this app.
Well, she's a predator. Remember her name. She's going to have to go around and say that name to every door she knocks on. Says, I'm a sex offender.
Oh my God.
Hello,
All right. All
Tamara,
right.
I'm a sex offender.
All right. We got to wrap this up.
We got to wrap it up.
We gotta wrap this up. We gotta go walk the dog.
No, wait.
I feel like when I watched that when I was like really young, I did not get that at all. That's fun.
You didn't get that he was walking the dog to Katie Couric?
When I was like, 10, no, I don't think I got that. I think it went over my head.
I wonder has she commented on that? I wonder how she took that at the time.
I don't know. I think it's so good. I think it's so funny. I love it. Like, this show is so bold. Like, they deserved
That's what I
every
meant.
accolade.
It was bold.
They deserved every accolade or every, like when people would call it bold and whatnot and pushing the envelope, they really do deserve that because they did, but not in like a grotesque way.
No, and I got that, but I will say after the opening scene, I was worried it might be going to a more like shot grotesque American Pie world way.
Yeah.
Because like the opening shot, we can cut this if you want, but the opening shot zooms out of them on bed, and I was like, oh no, is he gonna be like pitching a tent or something?
Oh yeah. I
because
get that.
they
I get
set
what
it
you mean.
up so much that way. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I hope this isn't like the joke at the end of this, and I was glad it wasn't. But
But that's why I think it works because it's not grotesque or like overly graphic. It's just what they're saying. It's just words. And it's like teenagers do talk about sex.
sure.
It really is just, even to this day, just such a one of a kind show.
I think you said you were wrapping up.
Oh yeah, let's. This happens every time. Let me just get on one more soapbox. Let me tell
Holy
everybody again how
cow.
great this show is. Like I'm the first person who has watched this show or talked about it. But it holds up, guys. This is what I'm going to be rewatching this fall, I think. I can't stop now. The reunion got me too into it again,
fun.
so I'm continuing the journey.
Good show.
Well, thank you all so much for listening. Be sure to rate us 5 stars on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. We would really love that 5-star rating if you don't mind. And follow us on socials on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube at previously_TeenTV. And you can check out our Etsy merch shop. That is on Etsy, previously on Teen TV. And thank you all so much for listening. We'll see you next time.
Bye.